Howdy folks, welcome back to another Vampy Lizard video. Currently we are just walking towards the poker room and we're going to be playing another night of 25 cent, 50 cent no limit hold'em tonight. So let's get started. In this first hand, we look down at ace-queen offsuit in late position, specifically the cutoff. It's going to fold to me, so we're going to raise it up to $2. Almost everyone is going to fold, except the big blind does decide to come along, and he is going to defend his big blind. And we're going to go heads up to the flop in position. Flop comes pretty good for us. We got trip queens with top kicker. The villain's going to check, of course. We have to go for a tiny bet here, $2.25, about a third of the pot. He is, of course, going to make the call, and then we are going to go to a river. The river is the 5 of spades, changes nothing except for adding a small flush draw. We're going to both check, just try to let him catch up here. The jack of clubs comes on the river. He's going to bet into us, still pretty small. Of course, we're going to raise for value here. He should be calling even with a jack sometimes, so we're going to raise about a little under 3x the previous bet, but unfortunately he's not going to come along for this one. He's going to fold, and we're going to win a pretty small pot to start out the night. In the next hand, we have queen jack of spades in the big blind. We're going to get some limpers in there, as well as some folds until the button, and the button is going to open here. The button is going to open to $2.25, and it looks like the small blind is going to make the call. Small blind is going to be calling. Well, we could be 3-betting here, and I probably should be. I think for this time, we are just going to be flat calling, even though we are out of position. Definitely not something I would recommend. So we're going to go 3 ways to the flop in middle position here. Flop comes pretty much nothing. We just got 2 overs, some backdoor straight draws, and some backdoor flush draws. Everybody checks around, however, so we are going to see a free card, which is the 5 of spades, giving us a flush draw, which is going to be pretty good here. And the button is going to check, and then small blind is going to bet $3 into us. I'm going to make the call with the flush draw here. I think we're going to be good if we hit, and also if we hit a queen or a jack, we'd probably be good here. So I'm going to call. The button is actually going to fold, and then the river is an 8. So some straights get there, but we still got pretty much nothing, and so we're pretty much not going to be able to call anything here. We missed all of our draws, but of course he is going to have to bet. He bets $5. It's tiny in relation to the pot, but we still have to fold because we have nothing here. In this next hand, we look down at 9-10 offsuit on the button. The low jack is going to limp before the high jack is also going to limp, and the cutoff is going to limp as well. We're going to have to open it. I opened to $2 this time. However, I really do think with 2, at least $3.50 here, maybe even $4. The blinds fold, and then so it's going to be back up on that low jack who calls the $2, and the cutoff does as well. So we are going 3 ways to the flop here in position. Board comes deuce, 5, king with 2 spades. Not great for our hand. With the king out there, we have a slight range advantage, so they both check to me. We're going to be betting here pretty much with anything with the king out there. So we're going to bet $3.50, which is a little over half pot, but then the low jack comes out of nowhere and check raises to $10. The cutoff is going to make the fold, and we have a tough decision. Normally this would be a great place to fold, however I am going to call for some reason. And then the river, the turn is the 6 of clubs. He slows down and checks. I decide to check back here, and then the river is the jack of diamonds. We still have nothing except for 10 high here. However, he's going to check again. So this gives me the green light to go for a big bluff attempt. I want to try and make it look like I have a king that is better than his. So we're going to go $14, which is just a little over half pot, and this is going to put him in the blender for a while until he decides to fold. And we win with 10 high. A little bit of time has passed since the last one, and we look down at ace 9 offsuit in the big blind. It's going to fold to the button. He's going to open to $2, and the small blind is going to quickly 3-bet to $4.25. Now, this should probably be a fold in theory. However, I really haven't been playing too many hands, so I decided to call $4.25. And the undergun is going to fold, of course, the straddler. And then, however, the button is going to make the call. So we go 3 ways to the flop, out of position. So the flop comes not too bad. We got an ace there for ace jack with 2 hearts. We also have the backdoor hearts draw. So not too bad of a board for us. However, this still does favor the 3-better a lot more than it does us. So you can always have the sets and the 2 pairs here, and he is going to represent them with a bet here. Small blind is going to come in for a bet. He's going to bet $4. It's tiny, so of course we're going to make the call with top pair here, and so is the button. So we go still 3 ways to the turn. The turn is a 9, giving us 2 pairs. Some straights get there, but it didn't seem like that's something he was betting with. It looks like seems like either an ace or a jack there. However, he does ramp it up. He bets $10. With our 2 pair, we are going nowhere. We make the call, though I also don't mind raising there. But then the button is going to do something crazy. The button is going to raise to $22 here. And this is going to throw the small blind into the tank. He does not know what to do. Should he call or should he fold? He is trying to think. However, he does end up folding. And I think with ace 9, it's just a little too good of a hand to be folding here, though he could have the straight. We also have house outs, so we're going to make the call here, going to an $80. And is the queen of hearts. Many more straights get there, as do the flushes, so we both check. And then we actually show the same hand. Ace 9 offsuit for both of us, so we're going to chop it up. In this one, we look down at blackjacks, and we are going to open it up from the small blind. I'm going to open to $3.50, and the straddler and the big blind is going to fold. However, it looks like we may at least have one customer here. The button is going to make the call, so we are going heads up to the flop, out of position. However, we do flop an overpair on this board. Still pretty scary of a board though for an overpair, so we're just going to have to take the lead and bet. And we're going to bet almost pot, $5. However, he's just going to snap fold, and we win the pot just like that. A few orbits later, and it's time for a $1 PLO bomb pot. We look down at jacks with a queen and a deuce. Not too bad of a hand, and not too bad of a board. We've got top set. However, on such a connected board, I don't think we can really be raising here. The small blind bets $2.50, which is pretty small, and I would like to raise, but on such a connected, straighty, flushy board, I don't think that's going to be possible. A lot of people fold, and it is going to go heads up with me and the small blind. In position, heads up to the turn, which is a 10, pairing the board. We have a full house. We're not scared of the flushes or the straights anymore, so we are going to bet. We bet $5, and he snap raises to 15, and then I jam, and he snap calls. And he shows pocket nines for a worse boat. This is a pretty bad beat for him. I kind of feel bad, but like, you're never getting away from that. And the river is going to be the queen of diamonds. Even more draws get there, but our boat is still the best hand, so we stack the small blind here.